Jimmy Kimmel Live is officially back on the air tonight. The show's return to ABC comes less than a week after the network suspended it indefinitely over comments Kimmel made on the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. But not everyone will be able to tune in. Broadcasters Sinclair and Nexstar both say they will continue to preempt Kimmel's show with their own local programming. Nexstar owns 28 ABC affiliates in cities including Nashville, New Orleans, and Salt Lake City. Sinclair operates 38 ABC affiliates in cities including Washington, D.C. and Portland, Oregon. That means in total, nearly 70 stations across the U.S. will not air tonight's show. But for those who will see Kimmel's return, the question still remains, what will he actually say? So let's bring in Wayne Federman, a comedian who is a head monologue writer for Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, also teaches the history of stand-up comedy at USC, the University of Southern California. Fight on, sir. Wayne, take us inside the writer's room. What's going through the minds of writers working on tonight's show, knowing that everybody is going to be watching this show?
Right. And I know you think it's going to be a lot of pressure, but these are actually the easier shows to write when there's a lot of eyes on you, when there's a very specific idea behind the show. And what makes this unique to me is these shows do the news, but the show itself is the news. The monologue itself is the news. So this adds a kind of a different level to it. But usually late night comedy writing is a grind. It's like a Groundhog Day situation. So this is actually fun to write when there's a lot of eyes on you.
I bet it's a lot of pressure too. So if you were in that writer's room, what would be your strategy? Would you say we need to take on this controversy head on, or do you think move on?
It's a little of both of the head and the move, the two on options. I would, obviously, you have to talk about the elephant in the room. You're going to have to address that on some level, and Jimmy is going to decide what level of defiance or contrition he has, and that's up to him, and then his staff will just follow suit. And then, I mean, I see that he has like Glenn Powell and Sarah McLachlan on the show, so they're going back to the usual job of the late night host, which is to make people who are promoting their projects look funny and witty and beautiful.
So Disney said it decided to bring back the show after, quote, thoughtful conversations with Jimmy Kimmel and his lawyer. So do we know how those conversations will shape tonight's message? Do you think they'd even go there?
Well, you're asking me to speculate, and if you know anything about my stock portfolio, I'm terrible at speculation. But I would say just basically, it's very hard to have a casual conversation when there's a lawyer present. That's the first thing. So they're having these conversations. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not privy to it. But my guess is they want to present what a late night talk show is, which is the news of the day. And there's a lot of news outside of Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. There's the UN situation. There's Kamala's new book just came out today. I just heard about radioactive shrimp. There's a lot in the news, so I'm hoping they will touch some of those as well.
Well, in your career, have you ever been faced with something like this, a task of addressing a huge controversy?
Not face on, not directly on. I mean, the only things is we had Obama on the show and he did the news. So we did that, but not like this. I can't imagine a situation where the show itself is the news story. Again, it's kind of unique in the history of late night where the show is the story. So I think Jimmy has always been so unflappable in these big time situations. I mean, he's hosted the Oscars numerous times and he's always cool. He's a cool character. He's a cool guy. So he's I think it's going to be fun, and then at the end of the day it's just going to be hopefully back to the grind of like promoting these projects. I guess Glenn Powell is going to be on the show, so that should tell you something right there.
So you're also a stand-up comedian. I'm curious, after all of this, are you rethinking your set?
No, because I don't you don't know my act at all. That hurts a little bit. Thank you, Elizabeth. But I don't do topical material. I only do autobiographical stuff about growing up and things like that. So it's, no, it would not make me rethink it at all. But I do, as someone who teaches the history of stand-up, I mean, there was a time, believe it or not, and I know this is shocking, where that comedians were arrested for what they said on stage. I'm talking about Lenny Bruce, and even Mae West in the 20s spent a week in jail for the content she was putting out for a show called Sex. So luckily we're not in that situation now where people are being carted away and read the rights.
Are you concerned we could go back there?
Not really. I think I think that ship has sailed. Right now, this is. Yeah, I'm not concerned. Are you? Let me ask you. I'm going to turn it right around on you.
You know, it's not my job to speculate at all. It's my job to ask the questions from the experts that are out there in the comedy scene. Because I'm curious, because there are a lot of comedians out there that events and politics is a big part of their act. And I'm curious if you've spoken to other comedians who maybe do rely on what's happening in the world and politicians to be part of their act. I'm concerned. I'm wondering if they've voiced any kind of concerns to you.
Well, every comedian wants this complete free speech without any kind of cultural pushback. And that today with the internet is almost impossible. So this has been going on since the days, believe it or not, of vaudeville, where people were upset at racial stereotypes that comedians did on stage. So this is a long-running battle between free speech and free ideas and people who don't want to be offended. So that's just the nature of stand-up comedy. But I think, and I'm fingers crossed, that we're in an era where everyone on both sides appreciates the gift of the First Amendment.
You got to have a thick skin in comedy, it sounds like.
Oh, Jesus, why are you attacking me? It's my act.
You got to have a thick skin in this day and age anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Wayne Federman, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope we can talk to you soon after tonight's act. See what you
Good luck with the radioactive shrimp.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I don't have it in my freezer.
Right.
Thanks, Wayne.